Hello, I thought today we could enjoy a day trip to London to see the sights. But how do you get there? Most normal people would of course take the train because London, but I'm not convinced that's the quickest or cheapest method. Here is a car, and here is a marginally better car, and I put it to you that it's vastly superior in every way to public transport. But is it actually? Well, today we're going to find out, because in this video I'll be conducting an experiment to see which is best, public transport or the good old-fashioned motor carriage. My name is John, welcome to Auto Shenanigans. Why not consider subscribing? When I say day trip to London, I haven't cheated and selected a location like London Gateway Services on the M1. Oh no, our destination today is Tower Bridge. You know the one, it's the bridge, and it's very much in the centre of London, which some might argue is a waste of time driving to. Not me though. It's a nice Maserati. My route in the car is surprisingly simple. From the Auto Shenanigans HQ, a petrol station on the A14, we'll head to the M11, go all the way down and pick up the North Circular, then a right onto the A13 and then arrive. And because the M11 and North Circular interchange is free-flowing, in total I think I need to make about 3 turns. Piece of piss. Just coming up to the famous A14 bridge that's falling down, and in doing so it's created a massive dip in the road, which is fun, but if you hit it too fast there's a good chance you'll bottom out your car, and looking at the state of the road surface, I'd say many people have. Here comes the dip. That's really bad. I did think about doing this experiment during rush hour, however I then decided, f*** that. And to be fair, if you were taking a day trip to London, you wouldn't travel during rush hour anyway, especially if you were using public transport, because the on-peak ticket costs are somewhat unreasonable, shall we say. With that in mind, I set off at 9 AM, which should make for a leisurely cruise now that the traffic has died down a bit. And besides, what's the rush? We're having a jolly day out, not a stressful commute to work. I've just passed Duxford Airfield and they've got a pretty decent museum there. Should we just cancel the video and go there instead? Probably be better, wouldn't it? Interestingly, some of the display aircraft were flown in, as perhaps you might expect, but when the M11 was built, they took away some of the airfield's land, resulting in a shorter runway, and this means certain aircraft are unable to ever leave because there isn't enough space for them to take off. Still, the M11 didn't stop the Vulcan though, did it? What a shot. We'll skip along a bit because we'll be here all day otherwise. Making my way south on the M11 I am, and at this time of day there's not much to report really, leaving me with nothing to do other than admire the view of the road ahead that obviously I'm giving my full attention to. Oh look, a squirrel. If you're a bit of a motorway nerd, then things start to get a little bit more interesting once you reach Junction 6, which is a huge whirlpool-style interchange between the M25 and the M11. Sadly, today we're just passing through, but in the right direction, one can enjoy its early designed motorway corners, aka f***ing tight. Not far from the interchange is the site of Chigwell Services and unbuilt motorway services, but they did put in the access roads and the slip roads, which you'll probably spot whilst driving along. There's also an underpass or a subway that goes underneath the M11 to allow for pedestrians to get from one side to the other, but of course that's never been used. And just up from there is the Woodford interchange, which is numbered as Junction 4, yet it's the end of the M11, or the start if you're going in the other direction. We're missing Junctions 1 to 3 because, well, they didn't finish building the motorway. The plan was for the M11 to go further into London, terminating at Hackney Wick, but they didn't get around to that. And it's a shame because had they finished the motorway, it probably would have made today's trip even easier. And for reasons unknown, ever since it was built and unfinished, the Woodford interchange has been a constant traffic jam. I'm just coming up to turn number 2 of the journey, a right turn at the Beckton roundabout. Interesting fact about Beckton, it used to be home to a huge gasworks which would end up being abandoned, but it was then used as a film set in one of my all-time favourite films, Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. In the film, you think you're in Vietnam, but nah mate, East London. As you can see, there is traffic, but we are slowly moving through, so this is perfectly acceptable, really. I am in the wrong lane, in the wrong lane. I am in the wrong lane, in the wrong lane. According to my woefully inaccurate sat-nav, we'll be there in about 15 minutes. If that's the case, this has been a most enjoyable journey. I'm just making turn number 3, after which we will shortly arrive at our destination, which isn't actually Tower Bridge. It's a car park. Surely you weren't expecting me to park the car on Tower Bridge. That's not going to happen, is it? Don't be silly. So instead, I've selected a nearby car park where I shall dump the car, and we will continue the journey using the gift of my feet. Look at the state of this car park. I can see Tower Bridge is literally just there. Car park's just there. 2-minute walk, mate. Don't know why we're f***ing about with all this train bollocks. This walk probably would have been quicker, but some idiot left a castle in the way from the medieval times or something. I don't know, they've got your nan's jewellery in there or something like that. A couple of brooches. I am arrived. I'm just about to set foot on the centre point of Tower Bridge, which means our journey today is complete. Tower Bridge, lovely. Should we go home then? It's the next day, and we're doing the same trip as before. However, this time we're going to be using public transport. Sort of. I'm going to call for a taxi to pick me up from Auto Shenanigans HQ because buses are shite and I'm not a peasant. It will then take me to the railway station, and I'll start the journey timer when I finish this phone call.
Hello, taxis.
Hi, good morning. Can I have a taxi, please?
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. We are fully booked that time because of the school run.
I will now phone for a taxi.
Hello, taxis.
Yeah, hi there. I was wondering if you got a taxi available, please.
Where's it coming to?
Auto Shenanigans HQ to the train station.
Okay, taxi sorted. They're on the way. I'm going to start the timer. Timer started. So our journey now begins. From the Auto Shenanigans HQ on the A14, it's probably about 20-25 minutes to the railway station. I'll jump on the train. It's then about an hour into London. I'll hop onto a tube, which will take me to Tower Hill, which I think is the nearest tube station to Tower Bridge, and it'll be a couple of minutes walk from there, I imagine. But I need to get my shit together, and we are off to London again. I know what you're thinking. What sort of taxi am I getting that involves me sitting in the driver's seat? Well, it turns out there was some sort of miscommunication or misunderstanding with the taxi that I booked a short while ago. I sat around for half an hour and, well, there wasn't a taxi. Let's just leave it at that. So I'm left with no option but to jump in the car and drive myself to the train station. Because it's not going to happen otherwise. I've tried 3 different taxi companies and it's getting absolutely ridiculous. So with that in mind, I'll be driving myself from Auto Shenanigans HQ to the train station. I could have taken the bus, but that would have added 1 hour 20, 1 hour and a half to the journey, and that's just not practical. And besides, a day out to London is supposed to be a lovely stress-free experience, and so far, it's not. Well, I'm at the station. I need to sort the car parking situation out, and I don't know how to do that. The train's going to be here in about 5 minutes, so it's getting a bit tight. Despite me driving myself, I didn't leave enough time. Okay, stress is over. I've got the ticket sorted. I tried to use the self-serve machine. Couldn't do it. I'm an idiot. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, so I gave up. But the lovely man helped me with the ticket, so I need platform 3, which is just down these steps. And the train should be here in a couple of minutes. I've even had time to grab myself a beverage, which is fantastic. With all that hassle of taxis out of the way, hopefully now it should be a stress-free journey and we can enjoy our day out. Oh, I'm out of breath. One stair set, that's all it takes. The train is here, the train is here. It's quite a big one. That's what she said. Nah, she didn't. She never said that. It was a nonsense. We're moving. We're off, everybody. Look, off we go. Not a moment too soon. You don't want to hang around in Kettering too long if you can help it. Well, I'm f***ing bored already. Alrighty, we are London bound and our journey takes us through some delightful countryside and then Luton. Thankfully we're not stopping. Usually I'd fill a section of a video like this with some interesting facts, but I don't know anything about trains or railways. Lucky for me though, mostly because of the way I've edited this, looking outside we see something I'm a little more familiar with. Oh, I hit the glass. We're very nearly in London now because that is the M1 motorway. I think we're just passing Mill Hill. Yes, we are. Love the Nissan dealership building. It's horrible. Look at those suckers in their vehicles. Probably getting to their destinations far quicker than I am. Yeah, I can't imagine we've got much more than 15, 20 minutes on the train before we get into London. I mean, we're just coming into Cricklewood now. I think I timed that bang on. Oh, there was the station. Whoops, never mind.
This is London St Pancras International, our final station call. All change, please.
I am at St Pancras International. I now need to find the London Underground. We need the Circle line, which will take us to Tower Hill. I'm blindly following the crowd at this point, but I think they're going in the right direction. Underground. That one. This one. We have a branch there. I don't know. So if we just study this for a moment, we can work out which train we need to get to where we need to go. Oh, Right, next train will be here in 2 minutes. I need the Circle line via Liverpool Street, apparently. I'm going to check the timer and see how long this journey has taken thus far. It's not looking good. This is me. Off we go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Tower Hill.
I'm here. Don't know where I need to go. There's that castle that was in the way yesterday. How do I get out to the main road? This looks about right. I'm just coming up to where I crossed over the road yesterday. Just up that way is the car park that I used, which means just around here is Tower Bridge. And like before, I'm going to walk to the centre point, at which point I will stop the timer and the journey is complete. Oh, it's so lovely and peaceful in London, isn't it? You can see why you come here. It is a good bridge though, to be fair. It's a bit windy. I am here, headed to the centre point as we did yesterday. I am to stop the timer now, which I have done. And that time is rather interesting indeed. So brilliant, same as yesterday, Tower Bridge, lovely. I have a return train ticket, let us leave immediately.
Mind the gap.
Well, That didn't go to plan, did it? But I'm not sure it matters, because when we review the data, we're able to draw some fairly meaningful conclusions. Let's start with the good old motor carriage. The total journey time was 1 hour, 56 minutes and 34 seconds. The distance was 90 miles, which at 45 miles per gallon and £1.50 a litre is £13.64 in fuel. Road tax, VED, RFL, whatever you want to call it, in this case is £195 for the year, or 53 pence a day, or just over 4 pence for the 2 hours of use during our journey. Car insurance, let's say £500 for the year, that's £1.37 a day, or 11 pence for the 2 hours of use. Of course, there is London's ULEZ to consider, which is no cost on this occasion, but there is that annoying £18 a day congestion charge, which you have to pay when driving into certain parts of London. Yeah, when driving into certain parts of London, but if you're an absolute genius, you'd select a car park that sits right on the border of the congestion zone, meaning there is no £18 to pay. But fair enough, there was a parking charge, and London is well known for its horrific parking charges, and on this occasion they relieved me of £5.80, meaning our total journey cost was £19.59, or £33.38 if you call it a round trip. As for public transport, because I ended up driving myself to the station, I reset the timer in the interest of fairness, so the trip began when I left Auto Shenanigans HQ, achieving a total journey time of 1 hour, 57 minutes and 34 seconds, all of 1 minute slower, which isn't exactly what I was expecting, but this means if you were to take a taxi or use a bus or cycle or anything like that, it's going to take you longer. In my case, it's 1.5 hours extra on the bus or half an hour extra using a taxi. That's if they bother to show up at all, but time aside, what about cost? Yeah, what about the cost? Well, the return train ticket costs £79 and parking at the railway station, £12. Let's not waste our time with any other costs, because what's the point? It's £91 versus £33. And the real joke is that if you want to take the family, in the car your costs remain the same, but on the train you're multiplying that ticket price for every family member. And who the hell is spending the best part of £400 on rail tickets for a day out to London? Just drive. It's quicker, easier and clearly cheaper. So there we are, proof that the car is vastly superior in every way possible. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.